you have the wrong idea of this video. Hello everyone, Mary's recording.
Hi.
And I'm going to show you my movies.
Yeah.
Mary, I still like my music, but haven't I gotten into movies? Back into movies again?
He really has.
So, should I start off my... Oh, by the way, we're playing Herbie Hancock's Death Wish soundtrack, and Mary wouldn't know, but Death Wish is a movie of Charles Bronson, so I thought it would be a soundtrack, it'd be a good mood. So should I start with my Blu-rays or my tapes?
It's up to you.
No, I insist.
You insist that I choose? Let's start off with your Blu-rays.
Okay, and this could be a long video, but we'll split it in half if we have to, because I don't know how the limits work in YouTube.
Part 1 and Part 2.
You see, okay, but I won't say goodbye. We'll just stop it and continue it. Okay, so let's start. Mary has not seen a lot of them, but she has seen some. So let's start off with one she sees. How about Mary, the ones that you know and you saw, you can start off by saying it, talking about it, okay?
Okay.
You ready?
Yes. Heartbreak Hotel. Yes, so this is essentially about a...
It's essential.
It's essential. It is a really good movie. I would recommend that anyone see this.
The first time.
Yep. So this is a story of a kid whose mom is lonely, and he basically kidnaps Elvis to try to set him up with his mom. And so really just kind of cute little movie, and I would definitely recommend it.
It's a really fun movie. I'm sure it's a really great 80s movie, and if you love Elvis, you will love this movie. And the guy who plays him, I'm trying to remember his name, David Keith, does a really, really great job. I think Chris Columbus has directed it. Is a name I know. But this is a great movie. I love this movie. It's a great find for me. Mary hasn't seen this one. I won't talk about all of them too much because it's been a while since I watched them all. We need to go back. But this is one of my prized ones. I haven't shown Mary yet, but she should watch it. Eddie Murphy, The Golden Child. Murphy's on a madcap mission to save the Golden Child, a youth with mystical powers who's been abducted by an evil cult. It's just such a ridiculous movie. So much fun stuff happens in this movie. The soundtrack is amazing. And I have the soundtrack downloaded on my iPod. And this is great. So I'm going to feed off a lot of comments of people who probably have seen a lot of this stuff. I'm sure 80s movies are popular for people. Another one Mary's seen. You might not remember this. It's like the first movie I ever had you watch on tape. I absolutely love this movie. Remember this movie?
Hysterical Blindness.
It's a made-for-HBO movie.
I do remember that.
Golden Globe winning from Uma Thurman.
It wasn't bad.
No, it was actually made in, I think, 2003, and it literally feels like you're watching a movie from the 80s. Because this is a movie, it has great actresses. Juliette Lewis, Uma Thurman, and what's her name, the old one? That was one of her last...
I don't know.
Everyone knows
she was in The Notebook. She played the old lady in The Notebook.
Oh, yeah, I was remembering her name.
It's not on there?
Oh, sorry. Gina Rowlands. Gina Rowlands is her name. I really didn't recognize her name though. But this is really great. This was made for HBO. It's about two women who are single in the 80s, who are doing their thing and trying to like deal with relationships. And I love it. I've been really wanting us to watch it again because I think it's gonna get better every time. You never saw this one. Another prized pedestrian of mine. I think I love about this is that I always want to find movies that are made for TV movies.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And this is really well done. And it has a really famous actress. I don't know if Mary would know her, but she's really well known. Ellen Burstyn is very, very well known. And she's an award-winning actress, Oscar and Tony Award winner. And this is based on a true story about this mother in Canada whose son, who's a college student, goes missing. And basically, it's all about like the idea. The cat's in the way of you.
We still got the shot, don't worry. If it's shaking, it's because the cat's crawling over me.
But, so this is based on a true story, and this is actually about, basically it's like a really serious, like, in-depth look at Canada, and like this true thing happened where they basically didn't start even looking for her son who was missing for like three or four weeks. Wow. And they ended up finding him that he was dead. It's based on a true story, but it really says a lot about like the system that was going on in Canada back in the day. This is from look at this, fun stuff. Video World from Lake Orion, Michigan.
Wow.
All the way.
All the way.
To Charlotte, North Carolina.
I wonder what the story is behind that tape.
Now, Mary should know, I've been asking, I bring this movie up all the time to her, and she should have to watch it.
Okay.
Great people. William H. Macy and Laura Dern. It's based on Arthur Miller's last work he ever made, the playwright, called Focus. And I'm just reading the back as I'm trying to read it. And basically, it's really interesting. It's I think it's like in the 40s or 50s or 30s and 40s around the time with all the stuff happening where Jews are being persecuted, and it all starts. He like starts wearing spectacles, and everyone starts becoming prejudiced against him. It's actually it's in a really serious way. It's really well done. I really enjoyed this movie. I was really blown away when I saw it. So I'd keep calling Mary to watch it. Directed by a guy named Neil Slavin, who I haven't seen. This came out in, I think it came out in 2002. Actually, 2001, Focus.
Huh.
But I think you really would like this.
Check it out. When you were holding it up, it looked like that guy's face was yours.
This is one of my favorites. Mary's didn't watch this, but my buddy Lou also loves this. And I think anyone who knows this would know this is one of the best movies ever made. It's from the 80s. It's called The Wraith.
Looks like Wrath. But it's
but it's It's called The Wraith. And they still haven't released the Blu-ray of it. I'm dying for them to talk about releasing this. But they haven't yet. I would love to see what it looks like. And it has Charlie Sheen, and it's just look it up. It's probably one of the best things.
Did we watch part of this?
I've watched it multiple times. I don't think you ever watched it with me.
Multiple times?
Yeah, multiple times. It's so good. It's so good. It's lots of awesome car scenes. Such a perfect 80s movie. And it's probably one of the top 3 in this whole thing I'm going to show. So I'm not even going to talk about it because I'm going to mess it up. And the soundtrack's incredible. This is one of my prized possessions. I love a nice little clamshell case. This is a film by a very popular foreign director that everyone knows named Ingmar Bergman. And this is a great movie called The Devil's Eye. And it's a really funny, it's kind of like a witty comedic tale that he does on the stories that an old Irish saying states that a maiden's chastity is a sty in the devil's eye, and in this comedy, the cause of Lucifer's sty is a young, beautiful virgin bride-to-be. So basically, it's in like acts, like a play. Guy comes in, tells you the story, and steps out and acts. And it has he sends Don Juan himself down to take this female's virginity because he has a sty. The devil has a sty in his eye. It's really funny and really witty and really humorous film. And it says The Devil's Eye takes an entertaining look at religion, sex, and true love. Of course, what's awesome about it is there is redemption because the female basically goes for true love and says no when Don Juan tries to win her over. Haven't seen this movie. I've had this movie for probably a couple years. I've refused to unwrap it yet. The Incredible Melting Man. Still in the shrink wrap. I've never even watched it yet. I feel like this is going to be a perfect night, and it is not. That perfect night has not come yet. And I read somewhere online that it's one of those movies that it's great to have with your buddies, a bunch of guys, with beers and drinking and laughing. And
while the girls are out doing their own thing.
Yep. Well, it says come prepared, so you have to come prepared. But these are the types of movies that you are always looking for in Goodwills.
Not me, but he is.
Me. There's nothing more amazing than that. And I haven't unwrapped it yet still. And then I got 3 more. These 2, I actually listened to a podcast recently, of course, on the blaxploitation cinema films, which have really interesting historical context in the Black America and Black cinema in America. And these are 2 of the movies I have. I have Willie Dynamite.
Looks so ridiculous.
No, but they're fun, but they really say a lot about what was going on in the 70s. So they're very interesting.
70s were just so ridiculous.
What?
So the 70s must have just been so ridiculous. Yeah, but it's such an interesting little subgenre there. And then we have so that has the main guy in that movie is Roscoe Orman. And then we have this one, Fred Williamson in Black Caesar. There you go. So that's really fun too. And my most prized possession I own, which Mary still has yet to watch this one with me too. This one that goes up on my shelf and display. My most prized possession I own is Alien Nation. It's a really great 80s movie. Awesome. It's kind of genius because it plays it off like it's a story about this like alien cop with this other cop. It's really like a buddy. It's really like a buddy movie, like 2 guys, like a buddy romance movie. But it's also very interesting because what's his name? Sandy from Homeland plays the alien, which is also fun.
Maddie Potemkin.
Mm-hmm.
What's really cool is it's from this old video store, I guess, called Errol's Video Club. And Errol's Video Club, and it's Errol since 1963.
Wow.
And it's like in this really hard case. And it has like the actual thing is the hologram is glued on there, and there's foam in here, and it comes out from the top like that.
Whoa.
See? So it's one of my. I love this. If every movie was like this, that'd be so cool. So this is a fun thing I love. And Alien Nation's a great movie. And Jerry Goldsmith, who's a very famous composer, did a score for this movie but then it got taken out, and someone else did the whole score. His name is Kurt Sobel, and I have both scores. So I have an unused Jerry Goldsmith score. But this is a really great movie. It's really interesting. It kind of looks at like I'm not good at describing these things. It takes a really good, it's interesting because it has a really good look. Like they use negative terms for the aliens who inherit the Earth, and they call them like negative things, like the same way that we use prejudices on people today.
Mm-hmm.
So it has this deeper meaning. Okay, I got these Blu-rays here. Mary still get to watch this. I always tell her. I think she's gonna love it. It's probably one of the best looking Blu-rays I ever will own. Pacific Rim.
Mm-hmm.
Guillermo del Toro. It's amazing. Has tons and tons of extra supplemental footage on there. It really is unbelievable. It's basically a really great auteur director who does really serious movies, and he decided to take the monster movie that he loved as a kid and go all out with it, and it's amazing. So I think Mary will like it when she watches it. It's really, really good. And Mary, we got
Snowpiercer.
What do you think of that?
I thought that was a really interesting film. It's really funny because I asked some of my coworkers who work in film at lunch if they'd seen it, and a lot of them hadn't even heard of it. So maybe it just didn't get a whole lot of rep when it came out. But it is kind of like a post-apocalyptic story.
You can't really give it away.
Yeah, I don't want to give it away, but it is very interestingly done, and it's loaded with social commentary, which I always love films that are, because I can really they last with me. I can just think about them for a really long time afterwards and try to figure out the messaging.
And great documentary on this movie. It's directed by a Korean director named Bong Joon-ho. It's his first English-speaking movie. A lot of his movies get a lot of rep from the Korean films he's made. And the whole documentary is really awesome about it. And I've yet to listen to the commentary. But the documentary, it was based on a French graphic novel from the 80s that was very obscure. And someone bootlegged the graphic novel and made a Korean version of it. Mm-hmm. And this director found this bootlegged copy that was in Korean that the guys who made the graphic novel never even knew existed. So without that, this movie would never came to be. So it's a really cool documentary that kind of shows the guys who originally made the comic book, and it's very heartfelt, and they're crying because of the whole idea of how this story came to life they never thought would. It's very, very cool.
And it does have a bit of that graphic novel feel as you're watching it.
Ooh.
In terms of the plot structure, and you can just really imagine it being a good graphic novel.
So we got we haven't watched it yet.
Prisoners. Tim and I really loved this film when we saw it in theaters.
Good.
And it was one of those that we were just talking about and dissecting for a really long time into the night after it. We were just dating at the time. And
I wanted it really badly.
Kept you guessing all the way through the film.
Yeah.
You felt like it was predictable, and then it completely surprised you.
Hugh Jackman has never really been a guy I care about too much, but I'm really, really a big fan of Jake Gyllenhaal.
I do too. Ever since October Sky.
I've never even seen that movie.
What?
But I'm a very big fan of Jarhead. I don't like many war movies, and I love Jarhead. I love him. And this is great. It's a very great thriller. It's an awesome movie, very a suspenseful movie. And it was very hard for me because I wanted it so bad, but I love buying Blu-rays because of all this. It wasn't even an audio commentary, so I feel I'm what's the point of me buying this thing? 'Cause I want it so bad. What are you looking at?
No, the music was getting a little crazy. Which is perfect for us. We're talking about Prisoners.
Yeah, but I'm glad we own it. Mary got me as a gift because
gunshots.
I couldn't bring myself for a while to buy it, but I really wanted to. So Mary got it. We haven't watched Ben-Hur yet.
That's right.
But it's on your list. But this is an awesome deal. It's $15 in Target when I bought it.
He's referring to my list. I made a list of all the classic movies that I want to watch with him.
Mm-hmm. So we have a double feature here. It's only $15 when I got in Target. I think it's the same thing online if you go to Blu-ray.com. Really amazing. Ben-Hur and the Ten Commandments, because I've never seen the Ten Commandments before we got this, and it was fantastic, and I can't get enough of it. And the Technicolor on Blu-ray, when it's done right, is amazing. We actually also own Cleopatra, which I bought really cheap on a deal online, and we haven't watched that yet, but I've been told that that's also one of the most amazing Technicolor movies to watch on Blu-ray. So, but Ten Commandments also has one of the most amazing commentaries you can listen to.
Absolutely.
The woman's a lovely commentary, and she like spent 7 years like learning, getting to spend time with the directors and producers. Well, not the director passed away, but his family. So yeah, we still have to watch Ben-Hur though. But this Ten Commandments is awesome, and it's more amazing on Blu-ray. Bring you in.
Oh, and A Affair to Remember. This is one of my favorite films of all time. And, So Tim got this for me, and it's a great little collector's edition. Open it up.
Yeah, it's called a,
it's got a book.
These are called digipacks.
It's got a great digipack there.
Mm-hmm.
All this historical information.
Which I haven't read yet. I've been meaning to. I really didn't know how I was going to feel about it. In the beginning, I wasn't sure if it was really for me, but by the end, I can definitely see the significance of the movie, and I liked it. And the
commentary is good on that one too.
Yeah, you listen to like the last scene of it, I think, just to get an idea of it, right? Must be something between us, even if it's only an ocean. And we listened to it. We watched this right before the cruise, right?
We did, yep. Valentine's Day.
Our first cruise. Valentine's Day. So this is pretty cool to have, and I like how the thing that Blu-ray does these days.
No, the cruise was before Valentine's Day.
Oh, you're right.
It was for my birthday. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was. So the thing that's cool that Blu-ray does, they do these special packages. Like they do digibooks, and I show Mary they do the steel books, which is very popular. The Django I have.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do the Django. One of my favorite ones I own is a Swimmer.
A Swimmer.
Put out by a really cool company called Grindhouse Releasing. A Burt Lancaster movie. Mary started watching it while I was watching it for the second time, and she didn't continue, but she said, this looks like it's something I really want to watch. I told her she should. Really, really cool, based on a short story. Amazing supplements on there. Simple, really intriguing story about Burt Lancaster wanted to play different roles, and he plays this role. And the entire movie, like they said here, The Swimmer is a film like no other, a feature-length Twilight Zone episode by way of The New Yorker. A strange, stylized work of brilliant and disturbing one. That's Roger Ebert. And he never is out of his swimsuit the entire movie.
The entire movie, that one swimsuit. And it just
starts out with him just showing up in people's backyards and meeting people.
Never wearing any shoes.
Yeah, never wearing any shoes. And it's great stuff in his DVD and the
That
Blu-ray.
man, like, runs barefoot through the whole town.
Great information, booklet to read on here with essays. And it's, I mean, this is probably one of my favorite things I'd recommend for people. It's really interesting. It's really intriguing. It's a man... Burt Lancaster stars as Ned Merrill, a man who confronts his destiny by swimming home, pool by pool, through the suburban nightmare of upper-class East Coast society. He decides to just... he sees that one of the neighbors that he didn't know how to built a pool in. He's like, I can swim all the way back to my house and swim through every pool to the suburb. And you start learning more and more about him, and stuff is more revealed through the movie about him and his life. It's a very interesting movie. This is one that I think Mary would like to watch. This was a deal I couldn't pass up. Save these three for last. This was an awesome deal. It actually went back up in price now, so I'm glad I got it. This is a 5-disc set of all the original Planet of the Apes, and it went on sale from $50 to $20.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome. We have all the movies. Me and Mary watched the first one together.
I had never seen them before, so I'm working my way through.
Which was really great. It also has a Jerry Goldsmith score. And what's awesome is that these movies have, which I think is cool for Blu-rays, I think all Blu-rays should do, is take the soundtrack score, and you can watch the whole movie by itself with just an isolated score. So it goes like completely silent, and then when the music would play in the movie, the music plays. So you can watch the movie, but just see the music going with the scene and see how it kind of like how it
totally
works.
You, Tim.
It's totally everyone probably watching this movie, this video. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
I watched the second one, which I thought was cool, but it's kind of just like basic continuation of the first one. Escape from Planet of the Apes, I really enjoyed. That's one I want Mary to see. And then I haven't watched the last 2 yet, but I want to, and that's when Caesar starts, which is the character they built off of for the reboot, which is amazing, by the way. There we go on the last one. Yeah. Ooh, your favorite.
Not really my favorite.
I know, but it's really great.
It's interesting.
And Mary she'd love it more the second time.
I would?
Yeah.
Now that I know what's going to happen?
Yeah. So this is my first Criterion Blu-ray, which I was really excited to get into collecting these. I just have a couple I collected some Criterion DVDs when I was collecting those. Il Sorpasso, Blind Buy, never saw it. Just wanted to get it. Has Blu-rays actually in the player. 2 DVDs and a Blu-ray. It's called a dual format. Really, really great booklet, which I haven't read yet, but I'm saying in terms of the information, it has essays in here. I mean to read these, actually. I'm very busy. It's a film by an Italian director named Dino Risi, and is considered what I didn't know it was actually a genre called the road comedy, which I guess
Italian
you can say.
road comedy.
I guess you could say American films have that, like, road trip and dumb stuff like that. But it's all this idea about, like, you know, these 2 people on the road. But that sounded dumb when I said that. But the actor Vittorio Gassman is fantastic. The one that plays Bruno. Just this guy who meets this guy who is just like this live wildly, like, take life by the moment type of guy. Meets this dude who's more quiet, who's a studier in college, and he kind of just takes him on this road trip, and the whole movie is just them going through the hills of the Italian of where, somewhere in Italy, leading all the way to Rome. But it's a fantastic movie. I really loved it. Watching it again, I can't wait to watch it again. And it's the new 2K digital restoration with uncompressed monaural soundtrack. Oh, wow. But it's very cool. So those are all the movies that I chose to show. Where are we at?
We're at 22 minutes.
Cool.
I want to show something.
We've
been seeing this thing over your shoulder, and I'm sure everybody might be wondering what it is.
What?
This is our music room, everyone, by the way. We've got our little record clock.
Yeah, that's Coheed and Cambria.
It's not set.
That's one of my favorite albums from high school. I found that really cool frame. Especially with the CD, Coheed and Cambria. It's signed by the lead singer, Claudio Sanchez.
And then, what I want to show over here, this is Tim and Mary.
Should put on the second soundtrack. The other side for this one.
So this was our cake topper from our cake that I actually made, and it shows Tim with his curly hair when it's not shaved. This was his actual outfit that he wore for the wedding. He didn't wear those blue shoes, but he did have some blue shoes he wore a lot at the time. And he's got a record player, and I've got my books. And then this was like I Mod Podged the music from
hymns.
From hymns. 2 of the hymns were actually used in our wedding that are on there, and that was where we put we set our little cake that we sliced on top of that, and then the cake topper went on top of the cake. So there you have it. And then up here, have they seen this yet?
No, nothing.
Oh. So we've got in the middle RCA Studio B. That's an original print that was created by Hatch Printing Company, which used to do all the show posters in Nashville. And Studio B is actually where Elvis recorded a lot of his
60 of his hit singles.
60 of his hit singles. It's known as the home of 1,000 hits. And here we have
it's awesome.
Elvis's photo from.
I like to say it's like his high school or college portrait, but I don't really know where it's taken.
And so it shines down on us.
It's awesome. My parents found that at Goodwill. It's a great find. I think, or no, they found it at like a consignment store or something.
And then this is something I got from a couple artists that I had booked for a show. Cindy Morgan and Andrew Group were Nashville-based that did a collaborative Hymns for Hunger tour, and so they signed that and gave that to me as a thank you.
And I still had the Book of Psalms that Memphis Final Jim gave me.
Thank you,
Memphis
Final Jim.
And then we have our paintings in your little crafts area.
Oh yeah, no one needs to see my messy crafts area.
What? Show her. Where all the magic happens.
It's where all the magic happens with my paper quilling and all of that. It's kind of a mess right now.
CD collection's doing well.
Some CD collection and a couple of things that we painted at a little Valentine's Day painting event. You can see Tim's love for music and my love for
Sparks.
Sparks. Ooh.
Good Coldplay song.
It is.
And we will take you out. Hey, don't be camera shy. She's upset because she wants her food.
Oh, she does. She's running off to her food
We'll
dish.
pick you out with our baby. Right?
Yes. This is Abigail.
She's just gonna meow because she wants her dry food.
Hi, baby.
She's her.
See?
Yeah, booby.
You want world peace?
Why do you say that? Why do we say that?
You want world peace? Huh? You want world peace? Yeah, she wants world peace.
We say that because what we really say is she always meows when we say, "You want to eat? You want to eat?" So then we start saying, "You want world peace?" And she can't tell the difference.
She can't tell the difference, so she'll meow.
You want to eat? Kitty. All right, well, we're out.
Bye, y'all.
Y'all.